Should you buy Noble Legacy? Well, today we're going to take a look at all facets of the game, from gathering resources to building your town to managing villagers, and hopefully give you a better idea of whether or not this game is for you. I wanted to start right at the beginning of this game. So this is literally us having just spawned in. You enter this map, and the first thing you're going to need to do really is gather resources and also find a location for your town. Now, one really nice feature is that by pressing P, we get this overview and we can scroll up with our mouse wheel to make it really big. And you can kind of see the lay of the land, where the resources are, and also where you might want to actually build your town. So it's kind of up to you where you do that. And by left clicking, you can set a waypoint. This is also a nice feature in the game. You can set that for where you want to build your town or near a resource you need or something like that. And there's also this here, these sort of roads and things that are laid out, so you can kind of use those existing ones if you like. Now it looks like it's starting to rain, but let's talk about the resource gathering. So for example, we have mushrooms right here. All you do is walk up to the resource and press E, and then you start to collect them, and they will go into your inventory, as we see right there. Now this is pretty much the same for all resources. So for example, if we want to chop down the tree over here, we start with all of our basic resources in terms of tools, and so then we just take up the tool here, go up to the tree, press E to collect it. So it's nice and straightforward and easy to do. Collecting resources doesn't take a huge amount of time in this game, but also very quickly into the actual gameplay, you don't need to collect resources because we're going to hire villagers that will do that for us. And I'll come on to that in just a moment. Now there is also fishing in the game, but this is just like any other resource. We go to the lake area and just press E, and then over time we will reel in a fish and it gets added to our inventory. So there's no real skill involved with this or difficulty to it. It's just something you can do. But again, very quickly in the game, we do hire a fisherman, and he will catch all the fish for us anyway. So it's not something that we have to spend loads of time doing. Now, next up, let's talk about one of the game's biggest advantages, which is the building. So if we press P, we can go into this view again, and I quite like to build in this view because I just find it a bit easier. Then by pressing F, you bring up this build wheel, and it has a few things if you want to quickly select them. But at the top here, we have all items, and then we have all the different things you can build in the game, including prefabs, which we're going to get into in a second. But first, let's start looking at this when we're just building ourselves. So there's wooden foundation, and we can put it at different heights, as you see here, by just scrolling. And you can build things really simple if you wish. So for example, we can just snap down a couple of these here, and this will be the foundation for which we're going to build on. At this stage, we are then just going to add things like walls, and again, we have all different options here. Later on in the game, we're going to open up different types of materials like brick and stone building and stuff like that. So the freeform building in this game is really nice. We don't just have to place down whatever the game has for, say, a lumberjack hut. We can actually make our own lumberjack hut. And once you've built a little hut to have here, for example, a lumberjack hut, you then need to actually place down the crafting stuff. So for example, we need a woodcutter's bench here. So by putting this in, you can rotate it around, and you can freeform rotate this however you want. Again, the freedom we're building in this game is excellent. Now, if we place that down, you'll see here we have the woodcutter, and it says there's like a little warning sign. So if you press K to go into your villager management and go to buildings, over on the woodcutter maintenance, it tells you that, hey, requirements have not yet been met. You need more pieces. So you can see here, our log pile storage has not been placed. So it tells you what's required in order to create an actual lumberjack. So we need to make one of those. So once again, if we go into production and place down a log pile, once this is down, then we actually have ourselves a woodcutter. Now, the difference is that when that's actually been done, now what we can do is hire some peasants to work in here as either lumberjack to cut trees, or sawers who, what you see here, they will create planks and kindling. Kindling is used as firewood to keep your villagers warm in their houses. So we have a whole recruitment screen right here, and people have different types of jobs. In the top right here, you see we've got to wait 7 minutes, and then new recruits will be available. These little flags here dictate what the person does. So these two with orange flags are actually tradespeople, and we need to wait to get a peasant. But once we have that, I'll show you the hiring process and how we set villagers to work for us and help us build our city. Now, I mentioned prefabs. So if we go into F here, under the prefab section for economy, for example, we have this here, the woodcutter's lodge, right? So as long as you have the materials, you see in the bottom right there, 31 wood and 21 planks, you can place this down and it's all made up for you. So if you just really like the look of a building or don't want to do it yourself, then you can do this and then use this as your woodcutter if you would wish. So at this stage, you just take down this one right here. So I think it's a pretty cool idea. But on top of that, you can actually create your own prefabs and upload them to Steam. And here you're seeing a load of prefabs that people have already made, a few on here from myself, and you can download these if you like. So you can use other people's prefabs or make your own, and that is one really nice thing about this game. But here's the prefab we just downloaded, so we now have a much nicer woodcutter, and let's go ahead and turn that lamp on. There we go, it gives it a bit of light. And now we could use this one. But as I say, we'd have to destroy this building to do that. Now, one really cool thing about this as well, if we go up and look at this building and we press Q, then what we can do is we can take out just this piece if we like, just the window frame, or we can select the entire building and demolish the lot. And it asks us if we want to, so that's good as well. And there we go, we get all of those materials back as well. So with that done, we can now come into here and let's go ahead and go into production and place down our log pile or our crafting bench here. So we'll put this one, I think in here will be good, just there like that. And then we just need that log pile, and then it is actually ready to go. So we place this one down here, for example, and obviously you can do this however you like. But now this has become our woodcutter. So yeah, I thought I'd mention that because the building in this game is really excellent. On top of the different build parts, it's worth mentioning we have a ton of different furniture options, as you can see right here. Things as big as like wells that you can place down, which are really nice. And then we also have decoration parts as well. Some of these are unlockable, as you can see, as you play through the game. And then we have other things here, all sorts of lighting. We have an outhouse, bowls and clutter and stuff like that. So yeah, if you like building and getting creative, then I would say that you will enjoy this game. And it has some advantages over some of the other similar games in the building. Okay, so here we go. There are a couple of new recruits here that want to join us. So you get some basic information about them, like their stats and what they do. So you learn the flags when you play the game, but basically this flag here means they are a peasant. Now to actually get them, let's say we want to hire this guy right now, we can negotiate with him. You see there that we can offer him money, right? So our total coins are 300. We're offering 20 and we have a good chance. If we offer 25, it's better. If we offer 30, it's pretty much 100%. So you can obviously try and get them at a bargain. I'm just going to make this offer right now and recruit him so he's in, because I want to show you guys obviously how this stuff works. And once he's in, what we can do is go to the woodcutter and drop him in as a lumberjack. And now he's going to go and start producing wood for us. So we won't have to worry about this now for pretty much the rest of the game. Now, later on in the game, you'll have some bigger buildings. So I built like a big tavern here and a big church over there. You got a marketplace here that actually sells things to visitors who pass through, and they'll spend money here. They'll also spend money at your tavern and such. I built a foundry down here. So if you want these prefabs, they are on my Steam, but also I've made videos about all of this. So if you guys want to see this in action, you can. But I just wanted to show you like what the village can develop into later on. Some other things to talk about are farming, and this does require some research. You have to get a bit more into the game in order to do this. You see here we've researched our plot on tools, and we are currently researching the pasture plot so we can domesticate animals, which is pretty cool, right? So we're going to get into that as well. Now we did that by, we got a library here and someone is actually doing that research for us. So again, we don't have to do that. It's just a passive thing. But let's build up a farm plot and I'll show you what this is like in the game. So basically you get your little plot, and I'm just gonna put it anywhere for now, just while I show you guys what it's all about. But here it is, we have a farm. Now we can go up to the farm and select whatever crop we want. So you can grow all different things here. You got wheat, flax, or berries. So let's just go ahead and select flax for now, and we'll put that in there. And then we can plant these crops. So the flax farm is now planted, as you can see, and we can tend to the crops as well, look after them. So it says 10% there. Let's go ahead and tend to them. And you'll have things like this in the game where you do have to do them yourself, or you may just choose to do them yourself. I think this game can be quite a relaxing game to just kind of play. But with that done, so that's now, we can now harvest them. So let's go ahead and do that, and we'll actually get some flax from this. And just like that, we have 11 flax here in our inventory, and this can be made into cloth. Now this is one of the things that's coming soon in the game, but you could farm for berries or other things as well that are useful right now. This game is in early access right now, so there are definitely things that will be improved upon, and it's just whether or not you want to be on board from the beginning. What I was trying to do today was just give you an overview of this game, so it will help your decision as to whether or not you should buy. Please feel free to ask me any questions down in the comments, and if you'd like to see more in-depth gameplay, I'll put links to the videos that I've made showing that in the description. But for now, I just want to say thank you very much for watching, and if you do buy this game, I really hope you have a great time playing it.